Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I wanted to start with @BobInDeep. He sent me this piece of information. This is from this is what I've been talking about John McAfee. He says that he knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Well, they wrote this article today. John McAfee triggers countdown to unmask Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto, and they're going through a series of the tweets that I've been showing you. That this one's funny. How do I know about Satoshi? Yes, I drink, use drugs, chase women, run from the law, which I have done since I was 19. But it does not obviate the fact that I created a great company whose focus was stopping hackers. I had to know hacking. I am still John effing McAfee. This guy's a trip. But anyway, what's interesting about this is that now there's a whole dialogue going, and this guy says he knows who Satoshi is, and so we shall see how this unfolds. I will keep you updated for sure. And next, will Visa, this was also from Bob and Deep, will Visa, MasterCard, PayPal be eclipsed by crypto? Bitcoin data shows it's already happening. Well, this is interesting. Listen up, folks. Through a graphic, Block Data's team accentuated that by many measures, traditional merchant payment processors like Visa and MasterCard pale in comparison to Bitcoin, XRP, and other digital assets in this age. In fact, as the analytics startup estimated, merchants would see their margins swell by up to 4% if they accepted crypto instead of fiat on credit debit cards. As was depicted, a $1,000 purchase through Visa dwindles to $944.20 after all is done and dusted. The financial services firm charges $25.10 as an interchange fee, and an intermediary payment processor, PayPal in this case, takes $29.30, and at last $1.40 is taken as an assessment fee. And with that, the end online merchant receives only $944.20 from the $1,000 transaction. It's the same, slightly worse with MasterCard. Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal won't exist in 10 years from now. Why? Because they are way too expensive and blockchain currencies have outpaced them by a mile. Digital currencies and blockchain will take out the middlemen. Well, there's one other option here, and this is more what I think is going to happen. I think that Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal are going to co-opt digital assets. In the case of Visa and MasterCard, they just fought over who is going to buy Earthport, and Visa won. Earthport is partnered with Ripple. And so I believe that through purchases and Lord knows what type of different things they're going to do, you will see the Visa and MasterCard, the ones that survive, will adopt crypto and digital assets, Ripple and XRP being the one that will be the most sought after in terms of, and I don't mean that they're going to buy Ripple. I don't think Ripple will ever be in a position where it has to sell. Ripple could probably buy Visa at this point. So anyway, but as we go into the next bull run or two, I can assure you that Ripple is not going to need to be bought by anybody. They don't now, but they certainly won't as we go on into the future. They'll probably be acquiring some of these companies, but they really don't have a need to acquire these companies. I think that these companies in the short term are going to try to position themselves to take advantage of what Ripple's doing, though. Okay, moving along. This is interesting, too. This is from Digital Rookie, @Digital Rookie, sent me this. This is the first time that I have seen an actual ATM that has XRP, folks. We knew that it was coming, and I'm showing you this for those of you. We've talked about this on my channel before. There's many of you out there that may be wanting to get into the business of these ATMs and putting these different ATMs in stores and all. Well, I'm about to show you who's doing it. Do not have a wallet to store your purchased XRP from our crypto ATMs in New Jersey? Trust Wallet app is the answer, not only for XRP, but also for BTC, and many more. So I went, because I had not seen this particular ATM company, and I wanted to go and look at their website. For those of you that don't know, this is at Belco BTM, BELCOBTM.com. Stay ahead of the future. Belco BTM is the fastest and easiest way to buy and sell Bitcoins and major altcoins. And they have XRP, folks. Apparently they're starting in New Jersey. So this is ground floor right here, the way that I saw it. And you can see it here. Looks like a really ground floor type opportunity if this is the kind of thing you'd be interested in getting into. All right. Next, this is from Ian Northing at LANBINS. Give him a follow. He sent me this. Liechtenstein startup offers real estate investments on the blockchain. The Liechtenstein Financial Market Authority has granted the startup Crowdly token a license to issue bonds for blockchain real estate investments. As the company announced on April 16th via a press release, Crowdly token plans the next step to issue digital real estate bonds in 10 European countries via a timely set security token offering. The use of blockchain technology will enable qualified investors and, for the first time, retail investors to easily invest in first-class real estate in Europe. And many of those tokens that they're going to create are going to be paired with XRP. We're entering some fun times, folks. Get ready. Okay, and I got this from Brian Melancholy XRP at Mike Honcho _11. And he sent me this. And this is also fascinating, folks, and I want to go over this. Coinmetrics, crypto's bull run was started by a committed actor. Over the course of just 1 hour, a single trader pumped millions of dollars into the Bitcoin network. Cryptocurrency analytics firm Coinmetrics has found new evidence that the significant upward price movement in Bitcoin that took place on April 2nd this year was the work of a single trader whom the firm referred to as a committed actor. The trader, whose identity is unknown, executed a number of large trades across multiple exchanges at times when liquidity is lowest. Coinmetrics said that this was done to have the largest impact on prices. Although this cannot be known for sure, such trades would have been designed to trigger stop losses and force a short squeeze through liquidations of margin positions and short futures positions, the firm said. Regardless of the reason, the trades began at 4:30 UTC and continued for roughly 1 hour. While a number of other reports that observed the trading activity around this time have claimed that the trades initially took place on Coinbase, Bitstamp, and Kraken, Coinmetrics says that the trades actually started on HitBTC. However, Coinmetrics acknowledged that we cannot rule out wash trading at HitBTC. But I think that you see the point here, but I want to make the bigger point for you folks. I've been telling you all year that the over-the-counter trading has been setting records. Over-the-counter is set up for wealthy people and institutions. That's what it's for. That's what it was created for, is so that the wealth, you've heard the saying, the rich get richer. Well, there's all kinds of interesting things that the rich get to do. The rich get, I've told you before, the rich at brokerage firm, major Wall Street firms, the rich, they get the first shot at initial public offerings of companies. And so the rich get to trade over the counter, and where it doesn't show in the retail space. Well, for the last year, it's documented. This isn't just me saying it. We've shown it. We've proven it. Over the counter, they've been setting records in the purchases of cryptocurrencies. Okay, so let's say that you are mega rich. Let's say that over the counter over the last year, you have bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Let's say that that's you. What would it be anything for you to, through someone else, so that you would never be seen if it's not legal activity? Would it be anything for you? Let's say you're a rogue government who doesn't really care if it's legal or not. let's say that you're the Iranian government or the Chinese government. And let's say that you, as the Chinese government, you've bought $1 billion of Bitcoin over the last year over the counter, or the Russian government. And then you've got 5 or 10 Chinese traders who you then say, okay, now we're going to take $100 million and we're going to trade, we're going to immediately, and we're going to do it simultaneously. We're going to start buying $100 million worth of Bitcoin on retail platforms like Kraken, Coinbase, HitBTC, like we just talked about. But it's going to be simultaneous. That way, we will trigger we could trigger a bull run, even if it's just a short term. We could trigger a bull run. And then what happens to the value of the $1 billion worth of Bitcoin that we've bought in the over-the-counter market, and then can turn around and sell at a profit in the over-the-counter market without it affecting the market? Folks, that is what's going on. It's very simple. It's not very complicated. That's a very simple thing, because if $100 million can move the markets if it's seen in retail like that, and people can accumulate a lot more of that over the counter, that's a no-brainer, is it not? Especially if you're a rogue nation and you just don't care. So you can see now, over time, as things get more and more mature and more money comes into this market, that'll be harder to do. But right now, why would they not do that? Of course, that's what's being done. Sergeant Obi-Wan, Russia is realizing it has no clue how to regulate cryptocurrency. And this is an article from that Sergeant Obi-Wan sent me that's really pretty interesting. Russia is realizing it has no clue how to regulate cryptocurrency. And then they said the proposed digital assets law aims to legalize ICOs in Russia and is expected to be reviewed in May. But lawmakers are slowly realizing the futility of regulating Bitcoin and cryptocurrency that are unregulatable by design. And as you come down, as I understand, the aim of the proposed laws is ICO legislation. I believe the main goal is to make the ICO, which is a very easy way to raise some capital, convenient for small and tech businesses. But I attended 2 round tables at Gadar Forum, and there they say that these secret platforms do exist and can provide full anonymity. If this law passes, then Russia's central bank will have the sole power to decide which digital assets can be bought by unaccredited investors. Undoubtedly, the central bank and lawmakers have good intentions in imposing restriction on unaccredited investors. It is usually their money that typically ends up in the hands of scammers. But the problem is in controlling this process. It's almost impossible to track, as the bill only proposes to regulate the cryptocurrency market within the Russian jurisdiction, only for the unaccredited rich. So Russia is trying to regulate the unregulatable. Experts also warn that the restrictions on buying digital assets by unaccredited investors will lead to enforcement issues. Indeed, the main building blocks of cryptocurrency are that they're borderless, apolitical, and decentralized. Therefore, Russian lawmakers are slowly finding out just how impossible it is to regulate something that is unregulatable by design, folks. You're about to start seeing all these decentralized platforms pop up, and Russia's going to find out real quick. And it's not a coincidence. Have you noticed that all of the countries that have traditionally been the toughest on their citizens with respect to freedoms, Russia, China, all these countries that try to control their population more than any other, those are the ones that are having the hardest time getting their arms around this crypto regulation. I include the United States in that now, and the reason I do is because the United States, through the piling on of debts and the devaluation over time of the U.S. dollar, and the fact that everybody across the world wants the U.S. to lose the reserve currency status, the U.S. dollar. But with all of the United States has been running itself irresponsibly for over 50 years. Since the United States really came to power at the end of World War II, it has completely abused that power monetarily, and it has piled on debts onto its people and its citizenry, and it is at an unsustainable point. And for that reason, the United States is having this exact same struggle. They're having the same struggles that a dictatorship would have. And the reason is because the United States knows the monetary nightmare that's coming its way, and it knows that it is going to have the same kind of need to control its population's money and control the situation, just like many of these dictatorships want to control. Because the United States knows that it has created by irresponsibility the nightmare scenario, and that's why they're having such a problem getting their arms around all of this. That's just the way it is, folks. Next, from Crypto Utility Guy at Utility Guy 7. This is what he sent me. Bitcoin is the new gold. I want to read this to you because what they say in this article is right, and this is from Forbes. Now, it's not a coincidence that Forbes is fine with promoting Bitcoin, but they bash XRP every chance they get. I believe XRP and Bitcoin will be survivors in all of this. Here's what the article, a part of what this article says. Gold is the global asset to hedge against risk, and investors are incredibly interested in it. It is a mainstream asset, dwarfing equities and other assets in the mind of the man in the street as an investment. When you drill down into mind share, when you look at interest in financial news, you can see what looks like Bitcoin eating into the interest in gold, at least in the United States. Now, if you look down here, they're showing you a Google Trends to illustrate to you the interest in Bitcoin versus gold. If you look at the global picture, this trend can't be seen as clearly when you appreciate the global interest in gold is driven by countries with low tech penetration. It suggests that as time passes, Bitcoin and crypto will increasingly share the flight capital risk asset crown with gold. Even if Bitcoin takes 20% of that market, Bitcoin will be through its previous $20,000 high. That is without Bitcoin continuing to be used for transactions or any other emergent use case or situation. Bitcoin winter is over. The price is going up. The only question is how high. For now, $6,000 is an easy target, and $10,000 a coin this year is not such a hard target. I'm still accumulating. That's how this person ends that article. And next, from King Solomon, if we keep doing things the way we have, we may not be able to close the gap. In other words, we may not survive. And that is from Japanese online brokerage Monex sees cryptocurrency as the key for survival. And I want to read you this part. We have fallen a little behind. We can't deny that, says this is Bloomberg, Monex Securities' new president, Simei, referring to an increase in market share of competitors, including SBI Holdings and Rakuten. If we keep doing things the way we have, we may not be able to close the gap. SBI and Rakuten, who have both ventured into the crypto space with VC Trade and Rakuten Wallet respectively, command 36.3% and 18.7% of the Japanese digital brokerage market, compared Monex's 5.1%. Note, SBI Holdings, who he recognizes as who's doing the right thing, owns 10.5% of, yes, you guessed it, Ripple. I want to close this video out by telling you a short story. This actually happened with my son. My son, I found out that my son had gone to school upset the other morning, and he was upset because he's been going through a little baseball slump with his hitting. So I find this out, and I decide that I will go to his school and pull him out of class, and I will sit down and talk to him. I got him out of class, I took him out to my car, and I sat him down in my car. And I said, you need to realize something, son. You need to realize that no matter what it is that you are pursuing in life, you're going to run into roadblocks. It's not going to be easy. No worthy goal is easy. Everything you do in life that is worth doing is going to be hard, and you're going to have to keep going no matter what. And so what I did is I sat him in that car, and I went and I found this video. It's called Dream. It's a motivational video. It's got 52 million views. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But it talks about all of the roadblocks and the disappointment that you're going to run into in the accomplishment of your goal. I sat my son down for 6 minutes and made him listen to this. He stared at it, and as many teenagers do, I couldn't really tell if it sunk in or it didn't sink in. Well, that was the day before yesterday. Yesterday he came home from a game and he was 2 for 3 and had a double and a single and 2 RBIs. He finally broke out of his slump, and he told me when he got home, after he got done telling me about how he'd done and how he felt like he snapped out of it, he said, "Dad, when yesterday during the day he had taken this video and he had watched it 5 times when I wasn't even around. So I didn't even know that he even paid any attention to what I had shown him, but it sunk in, and he watched it 5 times. And by listening to that positivity," and I said, "Well, what did you get out of that?" And he said, "Well, I realized that it's not just me that goes through these things. Everybody who's ever done anything goes through tough things." And so something that I had no idea had really sunk in with my son. And it reminds me of this quote, one of my favorite quotes from one of the greatest leaders of all time, Winston Churchill. "If you're going through hell, keep going. Don't ever give up, folks." That's Winston Churchill, and I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that if they're going through hell, keep going. Thanks for listening.